Hey, second graders, this is Mrs. Mann with your writing lesson for today. This week, what we're going to do is we are going to start writing a research paper. And I know that sounds kind of scary a little bit. It is for us too. But we're going to show you how to do that step by step so that it's not so overwhelming. And then we can kind of just take it piece by piece. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fill out this compare and contrast map. So if you remember a compare and contrast, compare means to compare things on how they are the same. So what is it that makes them alike? And then to contrast something is when we look at to see how they are different. So if you see in our chart, we have the main topic. So our main topic is going to be butterflies and moths. Okay. The first item that we're going to compare is a butterfly. And the second item that we put in there is a moth. And then we're going to write in there the similarities. And then we're going to write how are they different? How is a butterfly different than a moth? How is a moth different than a butterfly? Okay. So we're going to fill that out together as we go through our story. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and open up our book. So we're going to be reading this story, An Epic. Can you tell a butterfly from a moth? And the reason we're choosing this story as opposed to anything else is you guys are going to do a research paper on your favorite animal. All right. So you guys know, I love butterflies. So I chose butterflies. Now, when we go in Epic, there's all kinds of stories like this in Epic that you can choose your book to do. And then we can also compare things that way. So let me go ahead and click on here and get into Epic. And I'll show you where some of these books are. So if you see down here in similar books, if you want to do crickets or cockroaches or bees, dragonflies, butterflies, these ones obviously are showing similar things that are insects. But you see here, we've got all kinds of other ones. And there's so many stories like this in Epic. Rabbits, chimpanzees, turtles, gorillas. So you can actually go into Epic and find any of these books in here to be able to do your research. Here's one on sharks. Okay, so whatever it is that you choose to research, that's the one that you will want to look for. All right, so let's go here and start reading our book and do this compare and contrast chart together. Okay. So can you tell a butterfly from a moth? Let me make my screen a little bit smaller here so I'm not in the way. Okay. Whoop, not that small. Okay. So bright wings or dull wings. Butterflies and moths look alike in many ways. Adult butterflies and moths have 4 wings. The wings are covered with tiny scales. The scales give the wings their colors. All right, so already we know something that is the same about them. So we know, here's our I don't want to use yellow because we're not going to be able to see. So here is our butterfly. So butterfly. Ooh, this is hard to write. So butterfly. And here's our moth. And we know they both have what? 4 wings, right? So 4 wings. And then it said something about their scales, the scales on their wings too, right? So if we go here, the wings are covered with scales. All right. Wings have scales. This pencil is not the easiest to write with. Have scales. Their wings give them the color, right? Wings, or we can just say color, wings, color, full wings. Okay. All right. So let's go back in there. So those are some things already that we know is the same about them. This giant swallowtail butterfly's bright wings make it easy to spot. Both butterflies and moths are insects. So they're both what? Insects. So they're insects. So that's another thing that's the same about them. Whoops. Adult insects have 6 legs. Many adult insects also have wings. One way to tell butterflies and a moth apart is to look at their wings. Most butterfly wings are brightly colored. Moth wings usually have dull colors. They are often gray or brown. This Zale moth blends into places where it lives. It's hard to find. So on here, we can say they have colorful wings. Colorful. And then these ones are more dull. So dull means it's not bright or colorful, okay? And we know that this is their wings, okay? So when you go to fill this out, you'll have those things, okay? The wings. Let's go to the next. Whoops. Let's go next. There are many more kinds of moths than butterflies, but you might notice butterflies more often. Butterflies fly during the day. Their bright colors are easy to see. Moths rest during the day, and they usually fly at night. Their dull colors make them hard to see them. Look near a porch light on a summer night. Do you see moths flying around the light? Most moths are nocturnal. This means that they're active at night. So if I go in here, one thing is they fly in the daytime. I'm just going to shorten it. When you guys go to write it, try to write a sentence, okay? Fly at night. So nocturnal means somebody who is awake at night and sleeps during the day, okay? All right, whoops. Okay, so let's go to the next page. Wings up or wings out. A butterfly lands on a flower. The butterfly folds its wings up. That's the way they rest. A moth lands on a tree trunk, and the moth spreads its wings flat when it rests. So the butterfly folds its wings up, and the moth folds them out. So let's go in here. Okay, fold wings up. Wings up, and then they're flat wings. So flat wings when resting. Okay, sorry. It's hard to write with this pen here. All right, so let's go back. All right. So butterflies such as this painted lady fold their wings when they rest. These are the kinds of butterflies that hopefully we'll get a chance to watch their life cycle in the classroom. If it's not in the classroom, we will do it live on Zoom. I did do that last year with my second grade class from last year when we had to leave for COVID. All right. So wings are attached to the middle part of the insect's body. A butterfly's body is skinny. This swallowtail butterfly has a skinny body. So you see how skinny its body is right here? Thick hairs cover a moth's body. It looks fat and fuzzy. This giant peacock moth has a thick body. So butterflies have a thin body and moths have a thick body. Okay, so thin body. So a thin body and a thick body. Okay, now, just because I am filled out my box doesn't mean that I can't still write down some research about them, okay? So that's something I want you to know, because when you go to do your research project, you're going to write down so many different facts that aren't even going to be able to fit on this page, okay? But for the purposes of this assignment, you only just need to write the ones that do, or as many as you can fit on the paper, okay? All right, so let's go back in here. We'll still point out the differences and similarities, but we just won't write them down now. Sensing the world. Insects have antennas. Insects use their antennas to feel, taste, and smell. Look at the tips of this butterfly's antennas. Butterfly antennas have round knobs on the ends. Most moth antennas do not have knobs. The tips are thin and pointed. Some moths' antennas look like feathers. This moth has long, thin antennas. The tips are pointed without knobs. So there's another difference. They both have antennas, so that's how they're the same, but their antennas are different. They have knobs and the moths do not. Butterflies and moths wave their antennas. Their antennas smell flowers. So there's a similarity. They wave their antennas to smell flowers. Then the butterflies and the moths fly to the sweet-smelling flowers to find food. A moth waves its feathery antennas. It smells other moths. Moths and butterflies find their mates by smelling with their antennas. So there's another similarity. A male gypsy moth has feathery antennas. Look at his antennas. Those are kind of cool. Finding food. This butterfly flits through a garden. Sun shines on its colorful wings. The butterfly lands on a flower and folds its wings. Then the butterfly unrolls a long tube and pushes it into a flower. This tube is the butterfly's mouth. The butterfly sips a sweet liquid called nectar from the flower. A butterfly uses its tube-shaped mouth to drink from flowers. So think about that. His tongue is so long that he has to curl it up inside his mouth. So it'd be kind of cool to have a long tongue like that curled up, wouldn't it? Because you could drink to the bottom of a big, giant, big gulp or something, or you could reach the bottom of the jar and the peanut butter, something. That would be kind of cool to have a long tongue. But then it would probably get in your way. They don't talk, so they don't have to worry about their tongue getting in the way. I don't think they talk, at least. Do you think? No, just kidding. Later, the sun sets. A dark moth flies through a field. The moth's wings are hard to see. So he kind of camouflages. Remember that? Where you blend into your environment. Get those wings or those antennas again. This moth waves its antennas and smells something sweet. It lands on a flower. It spreads its wings. Then it unrolls its tube. Remember, it's the tongue, that big long tongue. The moth sips nectar from the flower. A moth drinks from a flower the same way a butterfly does. So see this? This is his tongue. So it goes way down deep into those flowers. Growing up, all insects begin life as an egg. What hatches from a butterfly or moth egg? A caterpillar. This Luna moth caterpillar just hatched from its egg. So there's a butterfly, there's a caterpillar to become a butterfly. A caterpillar chews leaves. It eats and grows. Soon it grows too big for its skin. The caterpillar molts. This means it sheds its own skin. It is a new skin underneath, and the caterpillar molts many times as it grows. This monarch butterfly caterpillar is shedding its skin. So you see right here, as it grows, it has to shed its skin so that it makes room for more skin and a bigger body. Okay? Finally, the caterpillar is finished growing. Then the moth caterpillar hides under leaves or soil. The caterpillar spins a cocoon. The cocoon is made of silk. It covers the caterpillar. This moth is tightly wrapped in its cocoon. Now, a lot of times we'll just call it a cocoon, but when we're learning in second grade, we're going to learn that this cocoon right here is actually called a chrysalis. Okay, so that's going to be the word that we're going to learn. But this chrysalis is the same thing as a cocoon. This is just showing what the inside looks like. So inside the cocoon, the caterpillar sheds its skin again. It grows 4 wings and 6 long legs. The caterpillar changes into a moth. The cocoon is cut away to show the moth changing inside. So what they did is they just kind of cut part of this cocoon off so that you could see how it changes from inside. Okay. When we learn about the butterfly life cycle, we will actually be able to see the chrysalis. And even though we can't see the change, you'll see once they're ready to come out of that chrysalis, you'll start to see the wings through the chrysalis. It's pretty cool. A butterfly caterpillar does not spin a cocoon. The caterpillar climbs to a leaf or branch. Then it spins a strong silk button. The button holds the caterpillar to the leaf, and the caterpillar hangs upside down. Then it molts. Okay, so it's actually hanging upside down. He's molting right here and building that thing. So when we do our butterfly life cycle, you'll see them. They'll start to get this J hook. And when they make this kind of a J hook, that's when we know they're getting ready to spin their chrysalis. A hard shell called a chrysalis covers the caterpillar. Inside the chrysalis, the caterpillar changes into a butterfly. So we actually will be able to see the wings and everything through it. It's pretty cool because theirs is more clear. Butterflies and moths fly in gardens, meadows, and woods. Can you tell these lookalikes apart? So look at this. Which one is which? Yeah, this is the butterfly because he has the knobs. See that? And he doesn't. He has those feathery, antennas. Who am I? I spin a cocoon before I change into an adult. my chrysalis is attached to a leaf. So which one is which? Yeah, this is the moth and this is the butterfly. I fold my wings up when I rest. I spread my wings flat when I rest. Good. It's opposite now. This is the butterfly and this is the moth. My wings are brightly colored. My wings have dull colors. So which one is which? Good. This is the butterfly and this is the moth. And we can also look at their bodies. Remember, we said the butterfly's body was thin and the moth's body was fat or bigger. All right, fun facts. Look at the spots on this moth's wings. They look like owl eyes. Look at that. The spots fool some creatures that eat moths. The creatures think that they see the eyes of an owl, so they flee. So that is their way to adapt to their environment and keep their predators away. Some caterpillars also trick hunting birds and insects. This tiger swallowtail caterpillar looks like bird poop. And hungry creatures will leave it alone. So its colors help it to stay safe. An older tiger swallowtail caterpillar has spots on its back. The spots look like big eyes. A hungry critter might think it's a snake and fly away. So it's a lot like this moth up here with the owl eyes. Monarch butterflies taste bad. So birds and other animals learn to avoid these colorful insects. Now on here, this is another good chart when we're filling out this one, because right here, you can see how they're different. Okay. And then even here, we have some differences and some similarities in them. So fun facts is another place in these books that you'll be able to go and get some information about your topic. All right. And then we have our glossary. So let's go back in here and look at this. So our comparing and contrasting, we talked about how they were the same and how they were different. There were definitely more things that we could have written in here, but just for the purpose of this lesson, we're just writing a couple things, okay? So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna go in here and you're going to load the graphic organizer up, and you can go back in to read this epic story and do that compare and contrast. I already have it open. Let me pull it right here. Maybe. All right. Well, you guys know what the graphic organizer looks like. It looks like this. I don't know why it's not opening on this video, which is really awesome. But you guys are going to have this, which you're going to fill out. Okay. So you're just going to go in there and do the same thing that we did during this video. And then we're just going to figure out how are they alike, what's their similarities, and how are they different. Okay. So again, when we're in Epic, there's all kinds of books that you guys can look for in here. So you can go up here in your search engine and you can type in the type of book or type of animal that you want to research. See right here, I have a bunch of them. I was looking at differences between seals and sea lions, different cats. There's all kinds of books that you can go in here and do. Here's a wild animal atlas. So if you go into this book, this one will actually show you
Atlas.
Oh, that's not what I wanted it to do. It will actually go in here and show you a bunch of different animals and where they live, all kinds of things like that. So you can actually use books like this too, or magazines. This is actually a magazine called the National Geographic. So there's all kinds of things that we can do, and we'll give you some other websites that you can use as well. All right. So guys, I hope that you learned a lot about butterflies and moths, the differences and the similarities, and kind of feel a little bit more comfortable about doing this research project. Like I said, we're going to do it step by step and give you lots of parts to do it before you have to do the one big project. All right, guys. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow and working some more on our research project. Have a great day. Bye.